Imagine this. It's late at night, you're driving down a lonely road. The radio is faint static, your headlights carving into the darkness. Suddenly on the side of the road, you see two children. They wave you down, asking for a ride. Their voices sound polite, even rehearsed. Something in you hesitates. Then, they look up. Their eyes, not dark brown, not shaded by the night, but completely black. No white, no light, just endless, empty voids staring back at you. This is the legend of the black-eyed children, one of the most chilling modern folklore stories to emerge in recent decades. Tonight, on Enigmatic Echoez, we'll explore their origins, the history of children in folklore, real-life accounts, and the unsettling theories that still haunt people today. I'm Jazz, and if you're brave enough, let's open the door together. The story really took root in 1996, thanks to Brian Bethel, a journalist in Abilene, Texas. Bethel shared his encounter online, back when internet forums were still fresh ground for ghost stories. He wrote that one evening, while parked outside of a movie theater, two boys approached his car. They asked for a ride home to grab money so they could return and watch a film. But something about them felt off. Their voices were calm, yet insistent. Their wording strange, too formal for children. Then Bethel noticed their eyes. He described them as coal black orbs. At that moment, panic gripped him. His body screamed to drive away, and he did. Later, he shared his experience, sparking a wildfire of similar stories across the US and beyond. That single post became the cornerstone of a new legend. But are black-eyed children truly new? Or are they the latest mask of something much older? In European folklore, parents feared changelings, fairy creatures that replaced human children. These imposters often looked normal at first, but their behavior was eerily adult, uncanny, or cruel. In Japanese legends, some yokai spirits appeared as children with hollow eyes or dark features, luring travelers into danger. In Scottish lore, tales of death omens often involved women or children with distorted features who appeared at night to foretell doom. Even in the Middle East, stories of the jinn include accounts of beings who take the form of children to deceive humans. So when Brian Bethel described black-eyed children in the 1990s, it wasn't the first time humanity had been warned about innocent facing hiding dangerous souls. It was just a new chapter in a very old book. When people talk about black-eyed children today, their stories share eerie consistencies. Appearance: kids between 6 and 16, pale, sometimes sickly. Their clothing outdated, almost thrift store plain. Hoodies, dresses, jeans, nothing flashy. Approach: they show up at your home, your car, your motel door. Always at night, always asking for permission to come inside, to use a phone, to wait for a ride, or to get food. Speech: polite but unsettling, like they're mimicking human behavior rather than living it. The eyes: hidden at first, they look down or shadows cover their faces, but eventually they'll raise their heads, and there it is, nothing but black. One of the most unnerving details: witnesses say the longer they stand near them, the more dread builds, as if these children radiate fear, feeding on it. Throughout history, the symbolism of children has been double-edged. On one hand, children represent innocence, hope, and renewal. On the other, they embody fragility, the unknown, and the uncanny. When folklore warps the innocence, it amplifies horror. In vampire lore across Europe, it was often said that vampires could take the form of children to gain entry into homes, a disguise that few would refuse. The invitation rule: the evil must be invited inside, echoes in every black-eyed children encounter. They never barge in, they always ask. In medieval times, many ghost stories involved death omens in the form of spectral children. The black eyes, then, may not just be creepy detail, they symbolize emptiness, death, or possession. Now, here's a few encounters. The first, the Vermont couple, back in 2016. On a snowy evening, a couple heard knocking at their door. 2 children stood on the porch, asking to come inside and wait for their parents. Against their instincts, the couple let them in. The cats hid immediately. The children sat quietly, but their eyes were all black. Soon after, the power went out. Moments later, a car arrived outside. A black sedan with 2 tall men. The children left without a word. The second encounter is the Cannock Chase, England, 2014. Multiple people reported seeing a girl with coal black eyes wandering the woods. When witnesses approached, she would whisper warnings like, "You shouldn't be here." This site has a long history of hauntings, and the black-eyed child became a new layer to its ghostly reputation. Lastly, Hotel Hallway, US, 2012. A man woke at 3 a.m. to knocking on his motel door. He opened it to find a boy asking to be let in. Just as he was about to step aside, the boy looked up. His eyes were completely black. The man slammed the door. For days afterward, he reported feeling weak and drained, as if something had followed him. So what are they? Ghosts of lost children? Wandering spirits, perhaps restless or seeking revenge? Extraterrestrial hybrids. Their strange mannerisms and hypnotic pull resemble alien encounter reports. Demons or vampiric entities. Their need for invitation aligns closely with ancient protections against evil. Mass hysteria or internet legend. Skeptics argue it's the power of suggestion. One chilling story sparks hundreds more, shaping by online retellings. Yet even skeptics admit the fear feels real. Why does this legend continue to thrive? Because children are supposed to be safe, but they're the threat. Because eyes are the windows to the soul, and black eyes suggest there's no soul left. And because the stories almost always happen in everyday settings. Your porch, your car, your home. They're not in haunted castles or ancient ruins. They're right outside your door. This makes them modern folklore, rooted not in faraway myths, but in the anxieties of our own neighborhoods. So, are the black-eyed children real? Or are they echoes of older legends, reshaped by the internet age? Maybe they're our collective fear of strangers. Maybe there's something darker, feeding on the primal terror of seeing innocence corrupted. But next time you hear a knock at the door, late at night, will you answer? Thank you for listening to tonight's episode of Enigmatic Echoez. If you ever had an encounter with something unexplained, maybe even the black-eyed children themselves, share it with us. Remember, curiosity can open doors, but some doors should never be opened. Until next time, I'm Jazz. Stay curious, stay cautious. Good night.